Oh, we've made it this far, Halloween fans. In celebration of Halloween Kills being released next month, I continue my journey of going through all the Halloween films that star Michael Myers slashing around. Not only that, but I'm collecting all the masks he wears along the way. Can't believe this one is sitting at my desk right now. But Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, to me is one of the lowest of the low points for the character of Michael and the Halloween franchise. Not only was it a movie that was so rushed into production that they didn't even have a finished script when they were filming it, coming out only 1 year apart from the previous sequel, they also tried introducing elements that would expand the Halloween lore and fill us in on some background on Michael without actually having the answers to what it all meant. And I know that might hurt some Michael Myers fans out there because I always continue to hear that Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers are personal favorite amongst fans because I think these were just the Halloween movies that were played over and over on TV. So a lot of fans just happen to grow up watching this movie over and over to the point that it just became a nostalgic fun film for them. But honestly, in preparation for this review and having to rewatch the film, it was not easy. But let's go ahead and hit play on Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. So with the opening credits for Halloween 5, instead of getting a jack-o'-lantern or maybe even landscape shots of Haddonfield, we're treated to some red text that read Halloween 5, along with sound effects of someone just viciously cutting open a pumpkin and carving it. And although again, it is a departure from what we know the Halloween openings to be, I kind of dig this and is one of the only things about this movie that I really like. It really feels like Michael Myers is about to enter the 90s. It's also so unpleasant but yet creepy to hear. So I approve of these opening credits. From there we get a retelling of the ending of Halloween 4 and how Michael Myers was just shot multiple times into a ditch, where they even go ahead and add in a dynamite explosion that Michael Myers was apparently able to crawl away from, so much so the boy landed in a river and was able to relax and enjoy. I get a sequel, bitches. Woo! Celebrated Hurricane Harbor at the Lazy River! But after Michael is all relaxed and pruny, he decides to get out of the river, encounter a hermit in the woods, and pass out before he can strangle him. The film then deciding to cut there a year later on Halloween Eve, because of course, if it's a Michael Myers film, it has to be set on Halloween, and I think this was the first time in the franchise it was a little annoying that they just coincidentally jumped us to the night before Halloween. But from there we catch up to what Jamie has been doing in this past year, where they retcon the ending of Halloween 4 and explain that Jamie did not in fact kill her foster mother. The mom survived the event and Jamie was put into psychiatric care where she even lost her voice.
Jamie! Jamie! It's just another one of your nightmares, that's all!
This is where the film makes it very clear now that Jamie and Michael do have a psychic link that they share that'll become very vital throughout the movie, where Jamie will be able to see where Michael is and vice versa. This would make a lot of sense for what was going down in Halloween 4, where Michael was always able to find Jamie no matter where she was, even though he'd never seen her face, never knew her address, or the fact that she existed. So I don't mind that they added this in, but I think they go a little bit overboard because they really waste the talent that is Danielle Harris in this film by not only making her lose her voice for the majority of this movie, but just enforcing these weird cuts all throughout the film where she is just inaudible, crazy, feels like we're watching a rock music video. But now that their psychic connection has awakened, Michael escapes his coma that he's been in for a year with this creepy old man who decided not to take him to the hospital, not to seek care, but keep him alive. What was this old man doing to him?
Now, I know this will be a tough one, Mike, but do you mind telling the courts exactly where the hermit touched you?
We also find out that Loomis is in fact still taking care of Jamie as her psychiatrist, and whoever made that decision, fire them. Afuera, get out of here! This man literally tried to kill Jamie the second he saw she was going the Michael Myers route. I would not want that guy to be my psychiatrist. I'd be afraid he'd be showing up every day with a gun in his pocket like...
Jamie's been making real progress, Dr. Loomis. Yesterday she did have a fever of 101. Oh, Loomis, put the gun down. Put the gun down, Loomis.
We find out that the foster sister and the final girl of the previous movie, Rachel, is still looking after Jamie in hopes that she'll get better. And this is another thing I do like that horror movies do, where they bring back recurring characters. That way you already have a built-in relationship with them. You don't have to spend time telling them their backstory, getting to know the character. We already like this girl. She survived the final movie. Good job, Halloween 5, on keeping her here. But as Rachel is now finishing visiting her sister in the hospital, she heads home to get ready for a big party the night of Halloween. Even though it has only been 1 year since a bunch of her friends were just murdered on this exact same night, she seems very cheery and happy and has gotten over the event pretty quick. But here, though, the audience gets a better understanding of the psychic link between Michael and Jamie. Whereas Michael is approaching Rachel, Jamie can feel it and needs to warn her, but because she's lost his speech and Loomis is always watching her ready to shoot, they're quick to react and warn Rachel that she needs to leave there, even if she doesn't have any clothes. Man, bet the neighbors were happy right there. A couple of cops are called in to investigate the house and look for Michael to see if he's actually there, with the movie making it very clear to what high status these cops are ranked in the police department.
All clear. Nothing above, nothing below.
How did we go from Michael Myers being just this ominous shape with chilling music, a serious tone film, to
all clear. Nothing above, nothing below.
It just feels like this movie is a parody of itself. Not to mention, the other thing I hate that this movie did is it made the character of Loomis almost unlikable to me, and I love the character of Loomy. In Halloween 4, I do like the progression and the arc that Loomis goes through, where he was this serious psychiatrist that was hell-bent on fixing Michael, to now realizing nothing can fix him and he needs to be stopped. And he still has that mission in Halloween 5, but he just does it at the expense of other people, like poor old Jamie.
Tell me what you know. Right. What do you think he's going to do with that? Huh?
We cut back to Rachel in her home, and because Dumb and Dumber were the ones who secured the area, Michael is of course still hiding in there, killing off the final girl from the last film. Why would you do this? Rachel was actually a likable character who had already gone through the trauma of meeting Michael Myers, of fighting him off. I'm sure some people are yelling, but Chris, those are the stakes in Halloween 5. Anybody can die, even the main character of the last movie. Which, you know what? Yes, that could have totally have been the case if there was not sound effects like this in the damn thing. But because Jamie is young and is not audible in this movie, the film still needs some sort of final girl replacing Rachel with her friend Tina, that again is just another unlikable character that is really bad at looking at her surroundings. Michael didn't even try to hide there. He literally just took one step to the side and said, they're not gonna see me. But now that Tina is the main character of this movie for now, we gotta meet her supporting characters, including her boyfriend, Michael, that I'm gonna say it right now. Not only did they call this boyfriend Michael for a dumb gag later on in the film, I fully believe they based the mask mold off of this guy's face. Because let's just talk about this damn mask. It is one of the worst in the franchise. Not only is my boy Michael Myers' hairline so bad, you need to go get your money back from whatever barber you went to, Michael. It also just has like a weird skinny nose point to it that he looks like some sort of kid that hangs out at the skate park. But it wasn't until me finally filming and looking at the reflection of the camera into the mask that I'm like, oh my god, this looks like Mark Zuckerberg. Come on now, that is literally Mark Zucky's face. So far, out of the 4 masks I have, my least favorite. We then follow Michael Myers continue to stalk our brand new set of characters while they're preparing for their big Halloween event at the end of the day. As all this is happening though, we get the introduction of a mysterious character that I want to remind you, again, was introduced into this movie without the creators, writers, producers having any idea of knowing what his purpose would be in the future. I know we'll eventually get to an explanation of who this character is, why they exist in the Michael Myers movies, but as this movie was being made and released, they had no idea what was the reason for this character being in the movie, other than to create some plot holes and a shocking ending that we'll get to. Michael then finally comes in contact with other Michael, being pissed that he stole his face, scratching up his ride, and killing him off with some farm tools to the head. As Michael Myers goes on to steal the identity of Michael, we cut back to Jamie, who is preparing for a little Halloween pageant alongside a little childhood crush that I do think is pretty adorable, even if I feel like this kid looks exactly like Ian from Smosh. Look, if I think someone looks like someone, I'm gonna make you think that too. We're then treated to an explanation of why this movie decided to have another character named Michael, and that's because
Michael, open the door. Michael, it's cold out here. Come on, open the door. Mikey.
look, I get what the movie was trying to do here, but it's not like if the guy's name was Josh, Michael was gonna be like, hey, my name's Myers. Michael Myers. But Michael seems to be enjoying the fact that Tina just says his name over and over, so much so that he's willing to drive her around to get some cigarettes. What a simp, Mike. Leading Jamie to once again have that psychic connection with her uncle, informing Loomis of the danger Tina is in the most hilarious way possible. Because again, Jamie is still inaudible in this film, only being able to speak few words here and there, but her little boy crush can somehow understand her. So what exactly is Jamie trying to describe to be able to go save Tina's life? Is it, gas station pumps, cars, convenience store snacks? Oh no. It's a mural of a woman whose tatas are a pair of cookies. What? She's literally describing this cookie girl, and the whole time I'm just waiting for the little kid to say,
Door. Big woman.
Cookie woman.
It's tits, Lumi. She's got cookies for tits. The kind you just want to dunk in milk, Lumi.
but thanks to Jamie being able to describe Cookie Tata Girl, they save Jamie's life, and for some reason, Jamie is just so excited to see the friend of her foster sister. Need I remind you, her foster sister is dead and missing at this point, and not a single person is asking, yo, where's Rachel at? Seriously, she was the main character and was in danger only moments ago, and not a single character is wondering where she is. But Tina informs Jamie that she does not care about her well-being because she has a D appointment later at a Halloween party and needs to ride out of there.
You might not understand, but when you're older, there are people you're gonna meet who make you feel like connected, like your heart is made of neon, and when you find them, you have to be with them.
Tina!
I'll be back.
What a completely unlikable thing to do in this movie. Like, this girl literally is like, I know you're crying, I know you're sad, but boy, Mike, he's got it. To make matters worse, she even calls out Loomis here like,
Tina, please.
Stay away, okay? You know, you're really creepy filling that little girl with all that boogeyman crap.
look, I know I said he's unlikable in this film, but don't you dare go ahead and disrespect Loomis. And we're not done there. To make even matters worser, when she finally does get to the party and was willing to ditch this little girl who was crying and sad, wanting to be with her, but said no because she really felt this connection with Michael.
Tina! Where's Mike? Oh, ask me if I care. Ask me if I care. Ask me if I care.
Like your heart is made of neon, and when you find them, you have to be with them.
What kind of character are you? But Michael obviously arrives to the party doing what he does best, slashing away at horny teens. Michael Myers for some reason likes using farm tools in this film, which really Mikey needed to keep that Sith more. He's pretty badass with it. But thankfully Jamie shows up to the Halloween party just as Tina was finding out that Michael really is out here and she's in danger. Michael making his presence known in his new whip, chasing our characters off in this field that, you know what, I think this is actually pretty cool. Michael tends to rob cars a lot, so the fact that he's driving behind one and is creeping up on you, I think is very chilling. Pairing the fact that they add the John Carpenter music in there, which I'll always just be a sucker for that. It's one of the better sequences in this film, if only Michael remembered speed kills. But we know Mikey's got them GTA cheat codes, makes it out alive, and finally puts an end to Tina, who should have never have been a main character in this movie. Loomis and the police, now knowing that Michael is out there, devise a plan to be able to stop him using Jamie's connection with him, setting up a trap in a fake Michael. I can't believe they couldn't even get the right house for this movie. Things don't go according to plan, however, as Jamie starts feeling that Michael is at a hospital, informing the police, and instead of grabbing Jamie and Lewis to be in their safety and taken care of, they're like, all right, we're gonna go. You guys are good here alone in this house, right? This is a real movie. Our boy Loomis, knowing exactly what's about to happen here since he's been through this way too many times, Michael Myers will show up, and for some reason, instead of aiming and firing at first sight, like Loomis has done the previous films, he decides to talk him out of it. Like, you went through the progression of him becoming this lunatic. Why would he now try to reason with Michael Myers? Of course it wouldn't go right, and he gets slashed away. Thank goodness the police force left Jamie with the best cop on the squad, cause...
You just hold on.
Oh. What? No. But it's Halloween 5, and Michael Myers still don't give an F about doors, ripping through one, chasing Jamie around until she ends up in a laundry chute, where I'm sure she's gonna be completely safe. But in all seriousness, this is the best sequence in Halloween 5 and almost makes the movie redeemable. Because not only is it a claustrophobe's worst nightmare to be trapped in a tight space, you also have to use your body weight to climb up the other end. Michael is trying to slash at you. It's very tense and well done. It's just sad that there wasn't more scenes like this throughout the movie. But as Jamie escapes the best part of the movie, we see she enters the attic, where the only thing Michael fears more than a speech from Loomis is an electricity bill? Because look at all them candles. Jamie confronting Michael, asking him to take off his mask.
You're ugly, you are disgusting, I'm gonna kill you, give me $200.
And of course nothing stops the boogeyman, but thank goodness Jamie was able to catch up with Loomis, where he'll protect and love her and save her.
You want her! Here she is!
What are you doing to my characters? Loomis, of course, not being completely crazy, springing a trap for Michael that'll eventually end with him in handcuffs. And man, us Halloween fans right now are worried about how Halloween Kills is gonna show the flashbacks to Michael being arrested and ending up in the mental hospital that he is in Halloween 2018. Ain't nothing gonna be as embarrassing as seeing Michael in these handcuffs. Why is the boy fidgeting with his chains? He looks like the shy kid that nobody wanted to work on the science project with. Thankfully, Halloween 5 had a solution to this since they introduced the Man in Black throughout the film, as he would be the one to get Michael to escape, leaving us with a cliffhanger so us the audience can be left wondering for years who was the Man in Black, and the writers themselves can be like, who was the Man in Black? Seriously, we gotta figure this out, guys. We need a sequel. I completely respect your opinion if you're someone who ended up liking this movie, because at the end of the day, it is just dumb, guilty pleasure fun of Michael slashing around with a lot of the tropes that slasher movies had in the late 80s, early 90s of horny teens, some silly characters, and just a movie to put you in the Halloween season. But this was the beginning of the worst. That would be one of the causes of why we have multiple timelines for Michael Myers, because this timeline they were setting up was so bad, it would eventually have to be reset, but not before we got to one of the absolute worst films in the franchise, Halloween 6. But you guys go ahead and let me know down below your thoughts on Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Why do you like this movie? Why do you hate it? What do you think they could have changed? But until then, I'll see you on the next Halloween review.